All right, let's talk about something that's all around us, but completely invisible. We're diving into the world of radio frequency interference, or RFI. It's that electronic static, that invisible noise that's behind so many of our tech headaches. And just so you know, this is the second part of our big deep dive into finding and fixing RFI. Today, we're really laying the groundwork, getting to know the basic types and where they come from. You know that feeling, right? You're on a super important call and it just cuts out. Or maybe your Wi-Fi decides to take a vacation for a few seconds for no reason at all. Well, it happens all the time. And believe it or not, the culprit is almost always what we're talking about today. Okay, so let's put a name to the face. The official definition of RFI is any unwanted electromagnetic energy that messes with our electronics. Basically, it's just a bunch of electronic noise that drowns out the signals we actually want to hear. And that can cause anything from glitchy data to a complete connection failure. Now, RFI isn't this one single thing. It really comes in two main flavors, narrowband and broadband. And the easiest way to think about it is with an analogy. Narrowband is like a single heckler in a crowd, shouting and trying to disrupt one specific conversation. But broadband, that's like the deafening, constant roar of a massive party, where it's impossible for anyone to hear anything clearly. So let's zoom in on that heckler first. We're going to look at the very focused, almost rifle shot nature of narrowband interference. And this is a perfect picture of what we're talking about. If you were looking at the radio waves on a piece of professional gear called a spectrum analyzer, a narrowband signal would look exactly like this, a single sharp spike. It's a very targeted burst of energy on one tiny slice of the airwaves. So where does this stuff even come from? Well, a lot of times it's from things like an illegal radio broadcast or maybe a piece of equipment that's, well, leaking. It creates these extra little signals it's not supposed to, called harmonics or spurious signals. Or sometimes it's just a perfectly legal signal on a nearby channel that's just too powerful and kind of spills over into its neighbor's yard. Okay, now for the other side of the coin. Let's talk about that loud party, the broadband interference. This stuff is way messier, and it causes problems over a much, much wider area. So unlike that single sharp spike we just saw, broadband interference basically lifts the entire background level of electronic noise up. It doesn't just mess with one signal. It creates a noisy environment that makes it harder for all the signals in a huge frequency range to be heard. It's kind of like trying to whisper in a hurricane. And what's crazy is the things that cause this kind of noise are literally all around us. Think about those little black boxes that charge our laptops and phones, switching power supplies. To work, they turn electricity on and off incredibly fast, and doing that creates a blast of electronic noise. Same goes for a lot of modern LED lights and big industrial motors. They're everywhere, and they're all humming along, creating this wide spectrum noise. Okay, let's pull all this together and look at the usual suspects causing all this ruckus. You're probably going to be surprised by how many of these are in your own house. Yeah, this table really lays it all out, doesn't it? It's not just one thing. At one end of the spectrum, you've got massive, powerful transmitters, like cell towers. But then, on the other end, you have all the little unlicensed gadgets in our homes. Our Wi-Fi routers, Bluetooth headphones, you name it. And then you throw in heavy machinery from factories and all of our own electronics. TVs, microwaves, computers, they're all adding to this invisible sea of noise. Okay, so we know what it is and we know where it comes from. But so what? Why does any of this actually matter? Is it really more than just a small annoyance? Well, the number one impact is something we've all felt: signal degradation. RFI messes with the data that's flying through the air. That means you get more errors in that data, which leads to slower speeds and a shorter range for your wireless stuff. That's your choppy video call or that song that just keeps buffering. And then there's the second, much more serious problem: receiver overload. This is what happens when an interfering signal is so powerful that it just completely blinds the electronics trying to listen for the right signal. It's like setting off a flashbang right in front of its sensors. The receiver is just overwhelmed and can't hear anything at all. Total communication failure. And this is why it's so incredibly important to understand and manage this stuff. We're not just talking about your phone call getting dropped. RFI can interfere with the radios used by police and firefighters. It can even impact the super sensitive navigation and communication systems that airplanes rely on. So yeah, the stakes can be really, really high. So this leaves us with a massive challenge. As our world gets more and more connected, it's also getting electronically noisier. The real question is, how do we cut through all that static? How do we make sure that the signals that really truly matter are always heard, loud and clear?